That day, David tried to sneak some chocolate but ended up falling straight into a 3-meter deep raw material tank. After receiving the alarm, firefighters rushed to the scene. The factory owner explained, "Our chocolate has high density, it's incredibly viscous, thick as love itself." The molten pool acted like quicksand. Every time the firefighters pulled David upward, he sank back down. This approach simply wasn't working. The immense pressure was cutting off David's circulation. The team could only provide temporary oxygen, but they needed a new plan. Then, Team Medic Han rolled in a barrel of cocoa butter. It turned out cocoa butter could dilute the chocolate and reduce its viscosity. With frantic stirring, the chocolate transformed from tar-like to the consistency of a latte. David was filtered out like coffee grounds. This trick worked like a charm. A severe entrapment accident occurred in the mall elevator. When the fire department arrived, security urgently reported another female passenger trapped on the upper level. The team doctor rushed to the upper level and discovered the woman was caught below the waist in the elevator's drive mechanism, her thighs wedged in the gear assembly. This incident had triggered the elevator's emergency safety stop. The first team used hydraulic spreaders to pry open the elevator steps, revealing deep lacerations on the trapped woman's thigh. The medic then realized forcing the steps open risked gear reversal and potential amputation. After the team secured the gear assembly with makeshift tools, the second team successfully rescued 2 lightly injured passengers below. The rescue team reinforced the elevator with wooden braces before swiftly cutting through the drive shaft with a saw, finally freeing the injured woman. The woman suffered severe injuries to both femoral arteries and required urgent medical transport. Lisa awoke to find herself wedged in a wall crevice, completely immobilized. It turned out this girl had gotten dead drunk the night before. Luckily, a passerby heard her cries and called 911. Firefighter Andy stared in disbelief at the gap, barely wider than a hand. When the girl tried to reenact her wall-stuck pose from the night before, Andy immediately stopped her and asked her to wiggle her fingers. He discovered her nerves had become numb from prolonged compression. Lisa completely panicked. Her emotions spiraled out of control.
Oh God! No, don't move. Just stay calm.
This is it. Isn't it? This is how I die.
And her body began thrashing wildly. Andy's gentle pleas had no effect, so he resorted to a more direct approach.
Becca, you're spinning. Stop it.
This tactic worked. Lisa finally calmed down and regulated her breathing. Lubricant was then poured into the crack like a waterfall. With a powerful tug, Andy pulled the silly girl free. A 10-meter-tall Christmas tree suddenly collapsed, turning the festive square into a disaster zone. The crowd pinned beneath it resembled unlucky gifts in Christmas stockings. Firefighters wielded pressure bars to brace the trunk. As branches were severed, trapped individuals were rescued one by one. Beside them, Lisa frantically pleaded with firefighters to save her husband, Jack. Firefighters parted the branches and gasped in horror. A branch pierced Jack's chest like a spear, yet he still held the pose of lifting his child. As painkillers coursed through his veins, Jack groaned, "Are the kids okay?" When the Jack lifted the entire giant tree, the medical team instantly transformed into bomb disposal experts. They used gauze to stop bleeding, secured branches, made precise cuts, then loaded him into the ambulance. The surgery went smoothly. On Jack's discharge day, fire trucks stormed the hospital plaza. Jack stood atop one wearing a custom Santa suit. The fire department had secretly orchestrated this belated Christmas to fulfill Jack's dream. As the children cheered around the red-robed elder, he wiped away tears and said, "This is more precious than breathing."
911, what's your emergency?
My sorority house is on fire, and it's all green!
The fire crew rushed to the scene and froze. The flames were an eerie green, yet no combustible gases or radioactive substances were detected. Just as the crew prepared to extinguish the fire, Lisa ran over, shouting that 5 children were trapped in the basement. The captain immediately assigned one team to fight the fire and another to rescue the children. He specifically emphasized that red flames could be tackled with water cannons, but green flames required only fire extinguishers. The crew quickly smashed open the door and entered the basement. All 5 children were still there, but a wall of green fire below the foundation blocked their path. Just then, manhole covers outside began exploding one after another, erupting with identical green flames. The captain urgently evacuated the street. At that moment, Bruce detected a peach-like scent. He instantly identified it as diborane but puzzled, since this gas is typically only used in nuclear reactors.
It has a nuclear program. If this is diborane gas, there's only one way to put out those flames. Dispatch! We need a favor.
The captain immediately requested liquid nitrogen support from dispatch. In the basement, the team couldn't extinguish the flames.
What do we do?
Towel or a sheet. Lie on the floor and cover your faces.
Fortunately, Liquid nitrogen arrived just before the heat turned the children into potato chips. The girls were saved. It turned out to be a gas leak from a nearby university lab. The gas flowed into the sewer system, causing the incident. The most surprising part? Rookie firefighter Bruce was a nightclub dance king just a week ago. In this brand new season, how will Bruce shine? Let's wait and see. After a traffic accident, the rear half of this car vanished on the spot. Firefighters arriving at the scene were stunned. Fortunately, the driver only suffered scrapes, but the passenger in the front seat was dead on arrival. Then firefighters discovered the rear half of the car 30 meters away. Fortunately, Betty only had scrapes. When firefighters prepared to transport them to the hospital, the injured driver actually slipped away. Police arriving at the scene were dumbfounded. With so many uniformed tough guys, how could you not keep an eye on one injured person? Police quickly uncovered the truth. The driver wasn't the owner, the deceased passenger was. Back at the firehouse, Delia found a bank withdrawal slip in her pocket, timestamped 15 minutes before the crash. Clearly, this was a premeditated robbery. Delia suspected Betty was signaling her. At the hospital, Betty trembled but refused to speak. With no choice, Delia handed the evidence to police. It turned out this desperate couple had kidnapped the real owner for ransom, while the passenger in the front seat was the true victim. Delia noticed the bruises on her neck were from long-term domestic abuse. Delia took her hand and said, "Sis, prison food tastes way better than your abusive husband's fists." After a night of soul-searching, Betty confessed the truth. The police soon arrested Betty's husband. A first-degree murder charge would send him to prison for life. After the tornado struck the concert, it swept through the city like a demolition crew. Lucy was trapped in the basement and urgently dialed 911. The exit was blocked by a fallen tree. Dispatcher Cammy heard the danger in the background. The tornado snapped power lines. Worse, Lucy's mother suddenly went into early labor though her due date was still 2 weeks away. Cammy explained the pressure from the tornado triggered contractions. The nearest firefighters would take half an hour to arrive.
We're gonna deliver that baby.
I don't know how to do that.
When Cammy announced she'd deliver remotely, Lucy's mind went blank. With Cammy's encouragement, Lucy found her courage. Cammy ordered her to grab a blanket immediately. Furious, Lucy ripped off her sweatshirt to welcome the baby. Cammy kept urging Lucy's mother to push. Lucy followed instructions, spreading her mother's knees to guide the baby out. Amid waves of screams, the baby emerged but Lucy froze. Her mom had delivered a dinosaur egg. Kanye explained online, "This is the deluxe premature birth package. Open it now." Lucy tore open the amniotic sac, yet the baby remained utterly still. Kanye demanded immediate CPR, but Lucy had no idea how.
No.
It's as easy as pie. Put your mouth completely over her nose.
And mouth, and gently breathe. Okay, gently, gently, because her lungs are delicate. We don't want to hurt them.
Lucy trembled as she leaned in until a rock star-like wail exploded from the basement.
She's breathing.
Yes, she did it. 3 minutes later, firefighters arrived to rescue them. Linda frantically scratched her face, screaming, "Something's on my face." Just moments before, firefighters received a call about an injury at the airport. The security guard calmly stated Linda wasn't injured. The team doctor arrived, utterly baffled. Linda writhed in agony, as if her face had been struck. The doctor examined her and discovered something wriggling beneath her cheekbone. Linda explained she'd been bitten by a mosquito, but instead of healing, the swelling had grown, and now she felt something trying to break free from inside. The team doctor suspected it might be some kind of parasite and insisted she be taken to the hospital immediately. But the security guard stopped them, stating this could potentially be a biological intrusion and must be isolated at the airport. Just then, Linda's pain intensified. The team doctor grabbed an ice pack and smashed it against her face, instantly silencing the creature beneath her skin. So the question is, do you know what was inside Linda's face?